Hey guys, my name is Chris Millar. I serve as the lead pastor of a collegiate church plant in San Marcos, Texas called the Well Community Church. And I just want to share briefly 3 things to think about before planting a church. And the first one is you got to be really clear on who you are. I've been in this now for 2 years, been in ministry now for close to 10. And probably one of the biggest questions I keep coming back to is, who am I? Am I the success or perceived success of the ministry that we are doing or that God is using us for? Or am I first and foremost actually just God's kid? We've been through a variety of trials and hardships now that we've planted this church, and one of the things that has sustained us, both me individually, our family, and our church, is just a deep-rooted confidence in who I am. I'm God's kid. God loved me. God loves you before you ever did anything for Him. And so one of the things you just need to think a lot about before you ever start the journey of planting a church is you got to know who you are. The second thing is you got to know who God is. Is God really who He said He is, or is He someone that you're just banking on what someone else said about Him? Do you know God personally and experientially in your life? Are you really grounded in His Word so that you can rely on His faithfulness and goodness as you see Him in the Scriptures and as you've experienced Him in your life? So when no one's coming to Christ and people are leaving your team and marriages are falling apart and things are really hard, are you really sure that God is who He said He is? Is He really faithful even when you can't see it? Is He really generous even when you have no idea where the money's coming from? When you plant a collegiate church or any type of church, you need to be really sure about who God is. And you're going to learn more about Him as you continue to say yes to Him along the way. But I think not only do you need to know who you are, but you also really need to know who God is. I love to share with you that 2 years into planting, I'm just even more convinced that we have a really good God who wants to give good gifts to His children and takes care of us in ways that I never could have imagined. But there needs to be a certainty of, I know that God will see us through anything that He brings us into for His glory and our joy. Lastly, I think you need to know, who are you going to do this with? And sometimes it can be really alluring to do this with the most gifted people. The ones that are going to fit the needs that you perceive your team has. So I need a really gifted administrator. I need a really good events person. I need a great social media or content developer. I need these kind of pieces on the team. And I just want to tell you that if you pursue gifting over character, man, the enemy's just going to take you to school. You're going to hit the ground and you might have some really cool looking stuff, but if the character of those people is not shored up and grounded in a healthy view of who they are and who God is, it's really not going to matter a year in. That those lives are going to be shaken to the core as you're pressed into the mission of God. And so you need to know who you're going to do this with. Have you seen what they do under stress? Have you seen who they are when everything's going wrong? Have you seen what happens when their character is really tested? Do you know who these people really are? So just 3 things to think about before planting a church, that if you're kind of considering this, or if you're processing this, or maybe you're already in the process of preparing a plan. Think through who you are, who God is, and who you're going to do this with. I wish I had thought about those things more intentionally before doing this. I think it would have been helpful, and hope that it's helpful for you as well.